Ladies and gentlemen, friends, welcome back to On the Line, episode number 8. It's your boy P, and I am here with Diana and Jen, and we are talking about coaching education. Let me give you a little background on these amazing guests here. Diana, you've been coaching with SAC since 2019, leading teams including the Pre-Academy, Premier, more Pre-Academy. You're also Maryland ODP since 2017, which is enormous. Diana, friends, holds the E, D, and C licenses, and we're here because you're currently enrolled with the B license course finishing up in December. Real important stuff, and that's what we're here to talk about. You've also, congratulations, been recently accepted into the Credential of Coaching Excellence cohort through Girls Academy. Brava. Absolutely enormous. And I hear you're a former player at my, well, I would say alma mater, but I've yet to graduate, Towson University. That's awesome. The Towson University Club, as well as North County High School. Grew up locally playing soccer and has coached private and public high schools, continuing to share that passion with the game across all levels. Welcome. This is my friend Jen Smithson. Now, you currently serve as the head coach for the 2011 and 2013 Girls Academy Aspire teams for the Baltimore Celtic Soccer Club. Shout out Celtic. Always a great challenge for my SAC friends. And you coach within both the Maryland ODP and the U14 pool coach, as well as East Region ODP under 13 girls assistant coach. We are really hanging out with greatness today, friends. This is exciting. Jen holds the C license, the E, the D, just like Diana, and are currently enrolled for the B license as well. And will be attaining that incredible level this December. You've played for Mount Hebron High School, Towson University Club as well. Did you ladies play together?
No.
Just coincidence. It's Baltimore, baby. All right. Welcome, friends, to On the Line. So we're going to get right into this. I want to know, and we'll start with Diana first. How has coaching education pathways from the grassroots to now working on the B helped you grow, not just as coaches, but as leaders and mentors?
So being enrolled in the coaching education classes and courses has been exponentially beneficial to my growth as a coach. I remember taking my E license as a young 22-year-old coach and just flying by the seat of my pants, planning activities and drills, and then going and just learning how to structure a training session. And it was mind blowing, from that weekend course to leave with knowledge of, how to structure and organize a training session for my players, what objectives were. And then I feel like ever since then, just every course we've taken, the D, the C, it's just a way to leave with resources and tools to refine yourself as a coach and be intentional for our players. So just every course that I've taken since then has just built off one another, and every course I've left with something that I can implement right away for my players and see that benefit and see that yield some immediate result. And it helps us be more intentional with our planning and individualized for our players. And so yeah.
It's amazing, actually. You can tell, and I say this respectfully, to a coach who has not been through the education program, to one who's just jumping in there thinking, okay, and then you see these coaches, and you're like, wow. So Jen, what about for you?
I have found that in the beginning, I realized very quickly that a good player does not make a great coach. And getting in there was always a little nerve-wracking, especially starting in new places where you have to sort of fake it till you make it. So the coaching opportunities to get into these education programs was a way to get the toolkit to back up my, confidence on there, and has made me a much calmer and a much more confident and just a coach with a lot of command. And as women in the coaching world, sometimes you have to have more than the average person who's out there. And I think that having the qualifications that have been provided in the courses has given me a lot of, you can't be over there yelling at me thinking you know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing too. And that
the proof is in the pudding, right here.
I've been there. I've paid the dues.
You put the work in.
Yeah.
And I love how you said with the confidence, communication, because a lot of the times here on the line, we talk about soccer teaches us so many life lessons, life skills that we can take from the field, the game, and apply to our personal lives. I'm curious, how has these courses played into your personal lives? You spoke of confidence and communication. What about for you, Di?
Yeah, I think just in the overall organization and structure, time management, and communication as well. You know, being at my club, I've been able to grow into leadership opportunities, like overseeing an age group and, you know, having the set of standards set forth by U.S. Soccer, the vocabulary, the ways to manage the performance environment, planning your sessions and environment for the holistic player and, you know, bringing out the best out of our kids. So I've been able to take that knowledge and those resources and apply it to our entire age group. So then our set of standards raise, and it's for the benefit of our players. So overall, just a better communicator, and having, you know, better leadership qualities, and like Jen was saying, just the confidence. You know, as you continue to learn and gather more information, the more confident you become as a coach and as a leader. So gaining those experiences from the courses and then putting them into practice has just been hugely beneficial in all areas of my life.
I would also think parents would have an air of respect for a coach with a license, because as a parent, it's an investment. And I know you guys have kids who also play, so you get it. So when you have a quality coach who's been through the program, it feels good too to be able to communicate with the parent and be part of a team like that.
It gave a lot of background to be able to explain, like, here's why. You know, if you're having a conversation about a kid and where they need to develop, it's not just, well, they need to be a better technical player. It's so broad. Like, it gave me a lens to refine to be able to say, hey, I need this player to execute these particular skills in this framework, and here's why. And then parents are like, oh, this makes a lot more sense, and I'm going to talk to my kid, and, you know, or talking to the kids on the field, like just being able to say that. And then having parents defer to you because they know you know what you're doing. Like, there is something about the confidence that parents have in you. It's been really fun also that the parents of the kids on my team have championed my pursuit of coaching education, have been really supportive about it. And cheer me on, which has been really fun. So it's been great.
I love that. That's cool. See, teamwork makes the dream work. And it does. What we take from that field can totally be played on the field in life. And I love that about soccer so much. So speaking about coaching and impact, from your perspective, Diana, how does coaching education help raise your standard for players in programs like ODP, where they're already elevated?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and kind of like we referenced earlier, it's, you know, growing your experiences, knowing the standards set forth by U.S. Soccer, knowing the objectives that are age appropriate to plan the training session, you know, and then also, you know, think about those details. You know, the more you go through the coaching education courses, the more attentive you are to the details of developing your players. So, you know, having that experience and having that knowledge, right, helps you helps you plan that training session to bring out the best in those players. So, you know, when you have that standard, then you can, you know, communicate that standard to your players, and that ultimately elevates the expectations, so that they're training at the very top level. So having those experiences from the courses, and as we've grown as ODP coaches, you know, we know the standard to set for. So when our players come out from different backgrounds and different playing levels, we can hold them to that standard and that expectation and raise them to that, which is really cool.
And we just wrapped the tryouts for ODP, didn't we? So we're about to take them to a whole new level as well. Have you noticed any difference in how players or parents respond, you know, when the coaches constantly are learning and challenging themselves? I mean, you guys are inspirations by showing through example.
You definitely have to, I think it's great when you have kids out there that you're trying to encourage to work on stuff on their own, when you can refer back to, I'm also learning every day, I'm also watching soccer, I'm trying to do stuff. Like, it's really hard to be genuine with a kid and say, you have to put in time outside of practice if you want to achieve this level, or if you want to catch the rest of your team, or whatever it is, when you go home and you shut your computer, or you don't think about soccer. Like, there's something to be said for pursuing education and pursuing greatness as a coach that you want to instill into the kids that are out there under you.
It's important because as much as we all love soccer, we all know that it has its limits, and we all can't be professionals. as much as we'd love to be. Would you, I know this is totally not on the paper, but as you're building to your A license, and would you want to coach professionally on the national team level?
I mean, I'm always one for if a door opens, opportunity.
Yes.
That's, being lifelong learners, being able to explore new experiences. I would never turn down, an opportunity like that. So again, it's important to us as we go through the courses to gain as much knowledge as we can, gain as much experience as we can, refine our practices as much as possible so that, should that opportunity arise, we have the toolbox and we have the strategies to, support players in that environment.
I'm getting the goosebumps because I'm telling you, I feel the energy, I feel the love, and I feel the smarts. I mean, ladies, this is really cool to have you here. Why do you think continuing education is so important for coaches no matter what level they're at? And I'll let that fight for it.
I'll go with that one. Just like a player is not every player is going to be a professional, but you should still strive to be as great as you can be within your environment. I think that a coach, you don't know what's coming up, and the opportunities that can open up as you continue to pursue education and experience can be really cool. And who am I to say, like, oh, I'm done, So I think professional development, I just think, is a mature thing to do in general across the board in every area of life. But like I said before, like modeling it, I think it's tremendously important to model what I want in my kids for myself.
Say what you mean what you say, and I love it. Diana?
Yeah, I just keep learning, keep reflecting, the more you learn, the more you can refine. So I think, like I said, from the courses, there's so much that we've taken away with every course, with every session, from the people that we've met. So it's just like Jen said, it's a practice that, in any area of life is applicable to just keep, working on your craft and keep reflecting on it so that you can adjust, your coaching and adjust, your working or whatever, part of life you're in as you learn new things. And, being in the education pathway, that it provides you with a wealth of knowledge to continue to do that.
Talk about it. Always trying to be better.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing. Don't get comfortable. Be better. So, all right, for our young coaches out there who are just starting out, what advice would you give them if they're on the fence about pursuing that first license?
Right, don't wait.
Nice.
Jump in, right?
Jump
Just
on
go
it.
for it. The people that you're going to meet, the educators who are going to teach you so much from their experiences, and again, the coaches that you get to network with, you're going to learn from one another. And just like we've been saying, you're only going to be better the more knowledge that you can take in. So don't wait, jump right in, get into the course, dive in and see what you can take from it that you can implement immediately into your practices.
Procrastination, no good.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that for all of those reasons, and the networking aspect of it. Like, you don't know who you're going to meet that you'll eventually call one day, or who will call you or give you an opportunity that you didn't know you even really wanted. And
Super true.
Having that experience is great. Not to mention, I think we have a really good time. Like, it's been really fun.
See, I love hearing that. And that was a question that's not on the paper, but I want to know, how much time does it occupy of your life? Because I'm sure for a lot of young, coaches who are considering this that are busy, they're worried about, how much of my life is this going to occupy? How much time does the classes occupy?
I mean, it's time management.
Okay.
We both have jobs outside of coaching. We're parents, and that's another layer. So it's just like anything. If you took a college course, if you took a seminar or something, it's time management, but the benefit outweighs the time that you might have to stay up late or put into it when you might want to watch Netflix or something. But it's worth it. And even all the assignments, you gain something from it. But yeah, it's time management, but it's worth it.
The end justifies the means.
And I feel like each course is fairly paced out so that it's not unmanageable. It feels a little bit like, you're looking at all the assignments and you're like, there's no way. And when I get you'll see the template and you'll be like, oh my goodness. But as you're going through and you're meeting week to week, it's like, I got that, it's done, yeah.
And then, but as a coach, you get to go implement it and see it work. Mm-hmm. And then when that happens, there it is. It's like, that's what this is about.
Yeah, and getting feedback, getting feedback. You work hard on your assignment or whatever it is that you're doing, and you might look at it one way, and then you get feedback from your instructor that helps you. Oh, I didn't consider that when I was, completing that portion or, reviewing the film. So it just, the feedback that we get is also, something that is so powerful and that helps us as coaches.
And that's something in the real world we deal with all the time. And, you can't get offended. You accept, you learn, and you grow. That's what it's all about. So now we're going to grow into Priestley's quick kicks. All right, dun, dun, dun. We need like special effects and all sorts of stuff. All right, so I'm going to start with Diana and then Jen. So pressure's on you. You're getting the first answer.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Favorite coaching memory with ODP?
Regional tournaments, hands down.
I would say the same. Lots of fun across the board.
I love it. One word your players would use to describe you?
Supportive.
Beautiful.
Short.
Hilarious. Show respect. Alrighty. Most used phrase on the training field, Diana?
No more square balls.
No more square balls. Jen?
Please just focus.
I love that. Yes. All right.
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Coffee or energy drink before training?
Yes.
I love it.
All the coffee.
All of it, yes. Light and sweet or black?
In the middle.
Okay. I love it. Next time we go do coffee. Let's see here. Most underrated skill a young player should work on?
I have 2.
Okay.
Either juggling or ball in a wall.
Nice.
I mean, underestimated how much just pinging that ball back and forth off the wall can help with so many skills.
I like that.
Juggling, but also grit. Kids are not resilient. And I think that from a young age, they need to develop the ability to take rejection and constructive criticism early.
Yes. I love that answer. I was going to just say also for me, using your weak foot.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I've been begging my kids for that for so long. They're all righty dominant. And I'm like, guys, work on that left because if you're not using the other one, you only got 50% of your body. Yeah. So that's just me here. You can throw that away if you want to. All right, let's see here. One piece of advice you give your younger coaching self. Deep.
Just go into the courses as early as possible. I really didn't know about it until I entered the club world. So I had coached for 3 years maybe before I took my first coaching course, and then kind of let time go by in between parenting and things like that to continue my licenses. So I would have told my younger self, just dive in, find your resources, see what's available to you even as a young coach, and the opportunities aren't going to always come your way, so seek those.
Great answer.
I would say you are more competent than you think you are, and as you go in, enthusiasm and care for your kids covers a multitude of errors when you start. And if you're out there really trying to invest in kids and you make some mistakes and you let it get to you when you lose or something like that, it's all right. Just shake it off. You'll grow.
This has been genius advice. Diana, Jen, I just want to say thank you both for sharing your journey with us today. This has been awesome and very inspiring, to be very honest. So we're so happy to hear how the coaching education has shaped not only your approach on the field, but also the environments you're creating for the club as well as our ODP players. So I'm just going to tell you now, the conversation is not ending here. We are going to go out with you to the fields next and see how you put, the learnings into practice. You mind if I follow you?
Absolutely.
All right.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Fam, follow us. We'll be catching up with Diana and Jen out on the field as they continue their B license journey. So stay tuned for that. Welcome on the field, on the line. We are back with Diana and Coach Jen. Coaches, here we are, USSF B license. We're doing the field training sessions. So far, how's it been?
It's been really great. It's been really fun to be around a bunch of coaches pursuing the same goals.
learning from their experiences and putting that into practice on the field.
I love that. Coach Diana?
Yeah, we've gotten to coach sessions, watch sessions, learn from our peers, work with each other, work with the players, learn from the instructors. So it's been a great week overall.
All right, you got to tell me, what's been the most fun part so far?
Probably hanging out with the other coaches. That's definitely always great to laugh and experiencing the same things. It tends to be fun to walk through it all together.
Diana?
Yeah, agreed. The in between of the sessions when we get to network and just share different stories, share experiences. So that in between time has been awesome.
So I think that's a really, really awesome part of what's here, the community. And you spoke to that, having the coaches around, working together, talk to that and why that's important to growing the experience.
We definitely are all coaching different teams, different ages and genders. Learning from experience from other coaches gives us stuff in our toolkit that we can take to future teams. It also just provides sort of a unique perspective on things that we may not have considered on our own experience.
Yeah, and you never know who you're going to meet and, you know, where you're going to cross paths again at different tournaments, different games. And just like Jen said, just the different perspectives of even an activity of, you know, did you think about trying it this way or what happens if you add this? And so when we're planning it, we see it one way, but then to get other perspectives and questions to make you kind of think outside the box is really helpful as a coach.
And again, on the line, we talk about all the experiences that take place on the field that we can translate into our real lives. And these are networking and working together. Yes, important on field, but also important in life. So ladies, I just want to say thank you for letting us in on this experience. I'd like to talk about now you've gained some knowledge. What are you super excited about bringing to your team to see their growth and experience with this new education?
Definitely the different perspectives on how to coach a group and get the most out of a group. I'm excited to go back and try some different things that I've attempted here and had other coaches bring up that are good ideas that'll work with my Ball of Chaos team. And so I'm excited about that.
Love it.
Yeah, agreed. Just the different ideas, the different perspectives. You know, we did an activity yesterday where we were the players and I said, oh, I can't wait to try this with my team and see how it works with them and helping them understand the topic. So again, just different ways to get the kids to understand the objective or the principle that you're working with that you might not have thought of. So there's just so many great ideas here and so much knowledge. So we're just taking it all in.
Well, we appreciate you letting us in. There you have it, on the field, on the line. Ladies, get back to coaching. Thank you for doing what you're doing for the sport and for our community. We love you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, coaches, there you have it. Now you see why it's so important to maintain that level of education and growth. Keep growing, keep going, whether you're just starting out or heading for that next license. You could do it. Thank you so much for passing on the information to the future of our game. We appreciate you. For more information on the Coaching Education Development Program, MSYSA.org, and I'll catch you on the next On the Line.